Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to On the Flip Side. My name is Adam Shawalker, your host. ALN is back again with a new black metal record under the moniker Mizmor. This new record is called Prosaic. The last Mizmor project, Myopia, with Thou, I thought was a pretty exceptional record. Really got me looking forward to whatever the next solo Mizmor project was going to be, especially after the last Mizmor EP, Wit's End, which, with the benefit of hindsight, I can't appreciate for what it is, but on release, that project really didn't land for me all that well. The two tracks on that album both felt a little bit bloated and left a lot to be desired in terms of focus. But now we've got Prosaic, which I've been slowly digesting. Mind you, this is a very dense record. The shortest track here is like 8 minutes long, with the rest reaching well beyond 10 minutes. And that is certainly not an odd or out of place thing for ALN. In fact, the majority of the Mizmor catalog is over 10 minutes for almost every single track. So going into this, that is completely expected. So we've got 4 tracks on this record, only an Expanse, No Place to Arrive, Anything But, and Acceptance. All of these tracks feel like ALN has taken his creative method and really smoothed out the edges. And I don't mean to say that this isn't heavy or anything like that, because it is. It's very, very intensely heavy. But what I mean is the songwriting is very streamlined. The songs themselves feel like they have been written with more intent than ever before. There's far less moments where the album feels like it's just droning on for the sake of just making some noise. I mean, there are certainly some slow and methodical passages through each of these songs. No Place to Arrive, for instance, weaves some intensely crunchy guitars with ALN's vocals in a near trance-like state. Speaking of vocals, they're really good on this album. The lows are more cavernous than they've ever been. I do kind of miss some of the Nazgul-like shrieking, which does not make much of an appearance on this record like it did on previous projects like Cairn, but what is here I do still really like. It is hauntingly ominous, especially with some of the production on this thing. Like, the vocals are just sinking into the bottom of a pit, while oceans of distorted electric guitars and reverbed out acoustic guitars just kind of pull these lyrics in like quicksand. And speaking of lyrics, well, I guess some context would be helpful. Mizmor, ALN, started this project as a way to, quote, process the mental and spiritual anguish underwent through a loss of faith in Christianity. So the lyrics read a lot like a prayer. Mizmor itself as a word is Hebrew, translates roughly to psalm or prayer or melody. I find it really hard to dig deep into these lyrics. They're certainly poetic and beyond my ability to really translate in a way that's actually effective. I think the meaning of a lot of these songs comes across beyond just the words into the agonized frustration of the music itself. Like the track Anything But, which is one of the most intense, noisy tracks on the album, with these blasting drums and intense guitars that lay over top of some barely audible spoken word passages. And I do think that I have some obligation to get more into these lyrics, but I genuinely think that my lyrical analysis for these songs would be laughably bad and borderline insulting. So I would urge you to read them. They're great. I personally am an idiot. It's kind of hard to talk about any one track here. So much of this record feels like one overarching narrative from moment to moment. Not like it's one story to tell, but thematically one track flows into the next pretty seamlessly, and most anything I could say about one track can very easily apply to another song here. So what can I say overall, really? Prosaic is a pretty damn good record. I think from my time with it, it's up there with Cairn and Yod. This is a very competently written piece of art, and I'm really, really glad it sounds like a much more fully realized record, because after Wit's End, I was frankly a bit let down. This is a crushing, depressing black metal record. It's not the most intensely heavy record out there. I would not call it a genre staple. In fact, I think its appeal is actually kind of niche, but if you like an album that is incredibly good at conveying a feeling of complete despair and loss, this is it. Prosaic by Mizmor, go listen to it and let it wash over you. This is one that you have to let work on you as much as you work on it. I'm thinking this one's a pretty solid 7. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this album in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe. Check out my Instagram, my Reverb, and my Depop. Links to all of those are in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching again. We'll see you on the flip side.